So we got the Union Air Jordan 1s today on the Sneakers app. And like I told you guys in other videos, if you guys haven't watched those videos, make sure you guys go check them out. Some of the stuff is a little bit outdated because you can't, buy shipping and whatnot. I'm from Jersey. We don't get taxed on shoes. So they used to let us buy the shipping to make the process speed up faster. And that used to be one of my tactics on how to hit on sneakers all the time. But honestly, I didn't even get the EA access on my personal account. I asked about 5-6 friends to do it and only one person hit. Shorty hit for me. I was happy as hell. And it was a 3-hour window, guys. Let me know what you guys think about that 3-hour window. I hate it personally because I feel like, every hour they should pick a new selection of people. If you didn't check your phone within this hour, a new selection should go out the second hour. A new selection should go out that next 45 minutes. And in the last 15 minutes, they should start selecting. But, it is what it is. That was the first time I've ever seen a draw like that, a 3-hour window. They are switching things up, giving people the opportunity to, get off of work or be in the middle of a break session or, something like that. So I dig it. I do get where they were coming from with it. But to the people that didn't get it at all, I think it should have been split up some type of way like that, like an hour a piece type of thing. If you got the Air Jordan 1 Unions today on the EA access, or if you didn't get the EA access, did you like the way this 3-hour window was or not? I know a lot of people are upset that they haven't gotten any of the hot shoes this year, meaning like this shoe, the Foamposite, the Union one, just a lot of the more exclusive shoes this year. And 9 times out of 10, you guys don't apply yourself. And it sounds kind of crazy because, we get happy when we see the got 'em sign. And to be honest, we're spending $225. We're happy that, yes, we're giving them our money. But this stuff is really expensive, especially when you're doing it like me. Each and every week, this stuff starts to add up. You have to be really strategic when you are getting these shoes and, keep a budget and just realize what you do and what you don't need in life. You know what I mean? Everybody, wants shoes, but, you got to look at your priorities first and what you can and cannot handle. And I say that about not only this, but like other things that's going on in your life as well. All right. But back to this topic right here. Let me know if you guys did hit the Air Jordan 1 Unions. Let me know in the comments box below your thoughts, man. The 3-hour window was crazy. I just don't necessarily agree with it, but I get where they were coming from once again. But hopefully we can get a similar type of thing for these. These did officially come out today. I dropped 2 videos on these. I dropped a whole bunch of sizing tips. And I dropped, different pants options if you guys want to see how these look with different color pants options and different color socks. So if you guys want to check that out, make sure you guys go do that. Hopefully, I'm going to have the Air Jordan 1 Low Obsidian for you guys this Saturday. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a line out there, so I probably won't get like a, foot B-roll or people out there. But I'm going to try. If there's people outside for those shoes, I'm definitely going to try. It seems like it's going to dry up for like a few weeks before we have like a really nice big release again. But you never know. Again, I feel like the Nigels should have been to Skate Shots because I feel like these are in the same category. It's kind of like in the same thing, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, you know what I mean? We all can't hit everything. And that's another thing I want to talk about here today. Some people on this platform are just straight up haters, you know what I mean? Some people will say that I get everything or whatever the case it may be. I actually put in the work to get this stuff, you know what I mean? You guys see me each and every week since I've started this channel go outside and get these shoes. I'm not buying these shoes early just to show you guys I got them just because I found out it was a way to make money on showing you guys the shoes early. There's a lot of people on these platforms that are just doing it because of those type of reasons, you know what I mean? It's not like a real passion to them, and you can tell when you guys watch their content. If you can't, I'm sorry about that, but some people, just do things because it's a cash grab, which isn't wrong, you know what I mean? But to me, this is like a passion. I like to build up to get these shoes. I like, going outside and talking to the people and things like that. That's just stuff that I enjoy. It makes me feel like my inner child. It brings me back to when I was younger, and that's what makes me happy in life. You know what I mean? Feeling great in the inside of just, communicating and basically just having a good time with people that I once, did when I was younger. So it's cool to me personally. But I don't know, man. A lot of people will just say like, well, I didn't get any of the shoes, so I'm hating and all this other stuff. And a lot of people that don't get any of these shoes don't apply yourself, you know what I mean? And it sounds kind of weird, like, yeah, I'm not applying myself to spend money, but if you want to get all these shoes, guys, if you want to get, your better chances of winning shoes and things like that, you have to start spending money. You have to start making good relationships. If you're not making good relationships out here, you're just not networking. That's just bad in general. In life, you should be networking. So if this can help you network and get better talking skills, you should probably be practicing that. That's just my opinion, though. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't think about it that way, but in reality, it is that way. If you're not spending money at these stores, I'm gonna tell you like somebody told me once before, you ain't keeping the lights on, man. Somebody told me that before, all right? You ain't keeping the lights on. And basically what that meant is you ain't spending no money in here, man. You're not spending no money in here. So when you start spending money, you know what I mean? It's a win-win. Not saying that you'll get everything, and when somebody tells you they can't hook you up this time around, okay, that's cool. Don't be, mad about it and whatnot. But a lot of people, don't apply themselves. Don't apply themselves, then wonder, why not me? Why not me? If you're not applying yourself, you can't be mad at the outcome. If you only want the good stuff and not the bad stuff, you can't be mad when you don't get it. That goes back to this whole Jordan thing, when everybody wanted the shoes and then they were sitting and whatnot. And then companies started going out of business because, Nike brand and Jordan brand wanted to make everybody happy. It's not gonna work like that. You know what I mean? You gotta make things limited. You gotta make people want something. You gotta make it hard to get. That's how things get sold out. That's how the value of stuff go up. And that's how marketing, media, and strategists work. All right, so I know a lot of people aren't happy they haven't been getting a lot of these shoes, but you got to put the work in, man. You can't just want one shoe and then think I can get it just because, unless you got the money like that. It just doesn't work like that. All right, you guys got to apply yourself. And like I said, once again, it sounds crazy for us to be all happy and whatnot when we get the got 'em sign. And, we're spending our money at the end of the day, but it's the little things that may make you happy or make you feel like, man, I work hard towards this. Because that's how I used to feel. Like getting these shoes, it used to feel like, I've accomplished something. Or I can remember what I was going through during that time where my mom got me that shoe, or what she was going through. And, this brought back that type of memory. But to everybody else, it just ain't the same. Like I said, it's a cash grab. A lot of people aren't into this just because it's just a popular thing right now. You know what I mean? It wasn't in people's lives since the beginning of their childhood. It's just stored up because it got popular, and that's reality of most things in life. People just are copycats, Some people just want to, be cool, and that's okay. You know what I mean? You are entitled to feel and be who you want. But somebody in the comments is gonna say, well, give me more examples of what do you mean by apply myself. So what I mean by that is going to these stores a couple hours early before they open to go get the shoe. You can't really go at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. anymore at the moment, because Foot Locker has changed their routine of how they want to sell shoes as well. I guess they got tired of all the other stores selling out before 12 o'clock and they got to wait till 5 to see if they sell out. So I think, with Foot Lockers now in the US, they've been doing first come, first serve. I don't know how long that will be lasting, but that was another way to apply yourself. Go to the store around 3 p.m. and, wait an hour or two to get that shoe for retail before it sells out. That was another way. Start going into these stores and do your local shopping there. Say what's up to the workers. You know what I mean? Don't always have like a mean look on your face. Just start being more personable. Start being more approachable, and these things will happen for you. I'm not saying everything, you won't be able to get everything. I don't even get everything, but I apply myself 9 times out of 10. I try to do my best. I tell other people to put in for raffles, knowing that it's going to be harder for just me to hit that aren't interested into the raffles. You know what I mean? Just things like that. And this goes with everything in life. Just apply yourself in different areas and you will see a difference. You know what I mean? Eat a little bit better here and there, you will see a difference. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? You're not going to build relationships fast, especially safe ones and real ones. So you got to be careful with that as well. You don't want to build fake relationships, because then those can end up real nasty and things like that. You know what I mean? You want everything to be pure. You want everything to be calm, easy. You don't want somebody to, think that you're only doing it for a certain reason, which in reality, you know what I mean? If you can't use somebody, you know what I mean? If you can't be used, let me just say this. Everybody in life gets used. If you can't be used, 9 times out of 10, people probably don't want to be around you, or, you know, you're probably not somebody that somebody wants to talk to. So that's just life, you know what I mean? Everybody uses somebody, rather it's for a good reason or a bad reason. You should be able to use each other. All right, so I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna leave those few notes. Depending on how great this video does, I'll probably, you know, add on to more topics of what you can do to apply yourself to these type of things. But those are just the simple things right there, guys. Just apply yourself a little bit more. You will be able to get these shoes. It's not like rocket science, you know what I mean? This stuff has been going on for years and years and years. And, you know, you just have to apply yourself a little bit more, and you probably will get these things for retail. But to the fortunate ones out there, you can just spend your money early and, you know, get the shoes early, you know what I mean? But everybody don't got it like that, and that's why I made this channel, to show you guys that it is possible to get these shoes for retail. And you guys see my success rate. I have a high 90% success rate getting these shoes for retail. And sometimes when I don't get them, my friends get them, you know what I mean? I just pay them a little bit of extra money and get it off of them. So like I said, it's a win-win, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're gonna have to use your friend to do it. It happens, you know what I mean? You can't always get it yourself. So nobody in life is just gonna make it on their own. You may think that, you know, no matter how hard you work, man, no matter how hard you work, and I'm living proof of this right now, you can't do it on your own, okay? You can't do it on your own. You're gonna need a team. If you get big enough, you're gonna need a team. You're gonna need somebody else that can put you in the next level. There's always more things you can do in life, more things you can do overall with just other people's opinion and just other people from the outside looking in, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm going through right now. I would love to have like a better studio for you guys. I would love to have somebody, you know, editing my videos, making my videos more entertaining for you guys to watch. But those things take time, because you have to learn people, you have to, you know, see what people can do, and it costs money, you know what I mean? So sometimes it always isn't the best to rush into things, you know what I mean? You got to take things one day at a time. Like, a lot of people like to ask me, oh, what kind of camera you use? Because it looks so clear. I use an iPhone, you know what I mean? It doesn't take much to start this stuff up, but when you start getting bigger and bigger and bigger, you should be upgrading little by little by little. But that's a whole nother story and a whole nother topic. But I just want to say that, you know, you guys have to apply yourself. You know, there's a lot of knowledge out there that I myself still don't know, but it's stopping me from getting to the next level. You know what I mean? I have the views, I'm just not getting enough subscribers. And, you know, even though you get paid for the views and not subscribers, I want that plaque, you know what I mean? I want that monkey chatter to be off my back, you know what I mean? I want that plaque to say, like, I'm a real YouTuber, you know what I'm saying? So, yes, I'm a YouTuber, but you know what I mean? So, that's that. I'm gonna end that topic there. But just apply yourself a little bit more. I myself should be applying myself a little bit more in different areas, which I plan on doing. But, you know, it just doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes you have to get a little bit of trial and error to get these things done. And sometimes that's okay. But you never want to not do something. And, you know, thankfully, you know, I got fired from my job back in 2020, because honestly, this stuff wouldn't be happening right now. I wouldn't be showing you guys these videos. I'll probably be watching somebody else's videos right now. But thankfully that happened, because I've been wanting to do this from years before that. So who knows where the channel would have been if I started, you know, 15, 20 years ago when I first wanted to do this stuff. But, you know, it just didn't work out that way, because that wasn't where my focus was. That wasn't what I was trying to do at the time. I was just nervous about my background, nervous about what people would say. And in reality, people are going to say what they want to say. And when people start actually saying bad things, that's how you know when your stuff is starting to get traction, and you're probably getting a lot of views on the content, because that's when people really start to hate, when they see you start to blow up. But anyway, that's another topic in its own. But I just want to say thank you guys for the support, man. I know I'm rambling a lot and whatnot, but if you guys like these talk sessions, let me know, man. I'll definitely do a lot more of these to keep the channel more consistent, because I know it's been, you know, shoes coming out only once a week. I normally would do other brands, but, you know, since there's no more Yeezy, since there's no more New Balance stuff going on at the moment, you know, I've only been doing like Nike and Jordan brand and stuff like that. So let me know in the comments box below, man. I had a great time talking to you guys today, getting a little bit personal with you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out.